is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 10th episode of Season 4 of The Muppet Show, which features the one and only Kenny Rogers. And unless you're a kid, you might probably know who Kenny Rogers is, or at least some of his songs. Now, if you are familiar with The Gambler, you know, the one that goes like, you got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. That's the guy right there. And this guy is actually considered one of the most influential country singers of all time. In fact, About.com actually placed two of his albums, Kenny and The Gambler, as among the 200 most influential country albums ever. And not to mention that he is considered a favorite singer declared by USA Today and even People. Not even to mention that he has won numerous of awards, including the AMAs, Grammys, CMAs, ACMs, and whatever Lifetime Achievement Award you can imagine, he actually got it. And going into the episode that he appeared in, I gotta say, it is probably one of the most brutal episodes of The Muppet Show that you can find. And mostly because of the treatment that Kermit got in this. Oh my god. Now, the biggest thing about all this is that Kermit really gets screwed over in probably the most dangerous way that you can imagine. And I don't know how to put this, but in a way, like, I get that they want to try to go in that over-the-top, dangerous kind of comedy that Tex Avery is very well known for. But in here, it's kind of like a mix that I can see where the humor is, and a lot of them are really funny. But some of them is just really brutal. That's the thing. It's that you don't know whether to either laugh or you just want to go and you just want to sit and go, oh! I mean, the thing is that this is Kermit we're talking about, and we don't necessarily want to see Kermit in, like, critical pain or anything like that. And that's kind of the thing that we witness, is that Kermit just gets tossed and turned so much. Like, he gets literally popped out of bed, he gets thrown out of a catapult, like, he hits the wall after performing trapeze, and all that kind of stuff. It's just, holy crap, the way that Kermit gets hurt in this, you know, it's just, like, it's honestly as painful to watch as it is, well, for Kermit feeling the pain. And honestly, it's kind of like, I will admit, there are some funny moments, but at the same time, like, I just don't really know how to feel about it, because it is Kermit, and I mean, like, you don't really want to see Kermit get a lot of pain. It's not the same way as, like, Beaker, for example, or the great Gonzo getting this amount of pain all over again. I mean, like, if it was Gonzo going through all that, and, like, he would kind of be, like, his masochistic self and just loving it every second of it, like, that would actually turn out to be a great episode. But the fact that it is Kermit, like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's getting a lot of mixed receptions going on, and it turned out actually rather weird, to be honest. Like, you get this weird feeling when watching it, and you're really unsure if this is something that you are laughing, but you're not sure if you really want to laugh at someone else's pain. I mean, you know, it's kind of like hearing, like, a really hilarious racist or sexist joke. Like, you know it's terrible what you're seeing or what you're hearing, but, like, you can't really help yourself but to laugh, and maybe you'll have the side effect of feeling bad about it right afterwards. Now, I just immediately want to express this right now, that if there is one big flaw with this episode, well, not a big flaw, but if there is, like, one flaw to really point out in here, is that I do feel like it's trying to do two stories at the same time. Like, not only is there the Kermit getting a lot of pain part of it, but there's also another one that apparently Scooter's uncle decided to set up, like, an entire oil rig provided by Saudi Arabians inside Kenny Rogers' dressing room. And, like, they do look at it from time to time, but you can tell that it is rather unnecessary. I'm sure that they can think of so many ideas, for an entire episode in itself, but over here, it feels unnecessary. You could tell that the main focus that they want to do is Kermit getting a lot of pain. Like, that is the main story that they go throughout the episode. And it is told well, and technically, the whole oil rig thing is not intervening anything. It's just, it doesn't seem as necessary, and I feel like it's trying to mix two different episodes in one, and I don't really see the point of having it there. So honestly, like, the episode can actually go without it, and it would result in the same thing. Now, in terms of the musical numbers and the sketches that we kind of got, if you look at the ones that are not with Kermit, and like we see him in a lot of pain or like just tossed around everywhere, there are a lot of them, like well, mostly is with Kenny Rogers. And the biggest thing, and probably the highlight of this episode, is actually The Gambler, his world famous song of The Gambler. And what's actually very interesting is that, in a way, I would actually see this as its own music video. If Kenny Rogers would actually legitimately take that bit of the Muppet Show and put, like, you know, use it as his own music video for The Gambler, like, it would be really believable. Because in a way, even though there are some Muppets in there, this is actually taken a lot more seriously than any of the other Muppet bits that happen. The thing is that, like, with all the other Muppet performers, they're all just old men, and they're kind of like a visual representation of, like, just Kenny Rogers and a bunch of other people on a train, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the most Muppetish thing that would happen in that number is actually that the old man, the gambler himself, would actually pass away, and you see his ghost just dancing around at the finale. It's just, you got to know when to hold 'em, when to hold 'em, oh, when to fold, you know, and all that kind of stuff. That's the most Muppety thing that would happen in here, but other than that, it is actually very legitimate, and I do appreciate and respect that they decided to take a more serious tone with that one, which is actually very nice. Like, you know, like, you could take it out of context, and it won't seem as Muppety as, like, many of the other bits or any of the other moments that would happen in the show. So that was definitely a good number right there. And then after that, well, there's also another one, I already mentioned that, okay, I'm not going to do the ones where Kermit just flies around like crazy and ends up getting critically hurt. Like, I'm not going to, like, that's where a lot of the episode, like, a lot of the sketches resolve around that. I mean, like, stuff like Gonzo's stunt with the catapult, or there's also, technically, Muppet Newsflash does have a bit of a connection with it. Veterinarian's Hospital, and then, like, the opening number that started it all, like, Miss Piggy decides to do an entire circus theme with the daring young man on the flying trapeze. And technically, there's also Coconut, where Kermit decided to take this idea that, like, you know, he's kind of like a real patient, so he decided to take advantage of the situation and just sing Coconuts, you know, the one with you put the lime in the coconut and all that kind of stuff. Like, the last one that doesn't have, like, the aspects of Kermit is actually Kenny Rogers just coming onto the stage, and a lot of the other Muppets would just come in to sing. It's kind of like your typical episode finale, where he would actually sing another of his popular songs, "Love Lifted Me," and it's very simple. The backdrop is actually just the backstage in itself, and eventually you just see more and more Muppets coming in, and they would sing the song as well. So I would say overall, like I said before, it is definitely a funny episode, but it's also the most brutal episode. I mean, just watching Kermit just getting flung everywhere, just flying around, getting hit, and all that kind of stuff. Like, it is funny, but it is also just, rather brutal to watch at the same time. Now, there are a few flaws that come with this episode, like, the whole oil rig bit, like, the whole storyline there is rather pointless. But I will say, Kenny Rogers is a great addition. Like, he definitely does shine some light, And, like, he is a really good break whenever Kermit is not getting injured. So, yeah, like, if you guys really do not want to see Kermit getting a lot of pain or stuff like that, maybe this is not for you, but yeah, just, I'm just gonna say this right now, like, if you guys want to check it out, definitely do so. This is still a really good episode, but proceed with caution, because the brutality here is real. But anyways, that is pretty much going to be it for this episode, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and let's just hope that Kermit will be a lot safer in the next episode, but we will only know until next time, so see you later, dudes!